Hey guys, come on downstairs. Let's play a little MLB The Show 17. We're playing Minnesota Twins franchise. First things first, we've got a trade to cover in our virtual world of Major League Baseball. The Baltimore Orioles get Preston Tucker. He is a 26-year-old right fielder, potential a C, 74 overall. Evan Gattis, a 30-year-old catcher, he's 77 overall. And Luke Gregerson from the Houston Astros in exchange for Dexter Fowler. Dexter Fowler, a 31-year-old center fielder with a potential of B, but he's probably on the downhill slope of his career, as is Luke Gregerson. So my question to you is, who won this trade between the Astros and the Orioles? Moving on to the American League Central Division standings before we get into the first game of this episode. The Royals are leading the division. The Tigers are in second. We are down in fourth as we start a 4-game series at Comerica Park between the Tigers and the Twins here. Coming into the series, the Tigers own the season series lead 2-1. And we go into game number 49 from Comerica Park. Taking on the second place Tigers, they have been in somewhat of a losing skid. They've lost the division lead to the Kansas City Royals. We have Justin Verlander with an ERA of over 5. He's taken on Ervin Santana in this one, who is putting up Cy Young contender-type numbers. We go straight into the 7th inning with no score. The 102nd pitch of the night for Ervin Santana, and that one is parked deep into the left field bullpen. And the Tigers get on the board first. Ian Kinsler, a solo home run. That's his 6th of the season. And finally, the tie is broken. The Tigers taking 8 hits to get that 1 run. We move ahead to the 9th inning. Frankie Rodriguez on the hill trying to earn save number 14 on the season. He is facing Luis Valbuena with the game all tied up at 1 at this point. And Valbuena drives it deep into the right field gap. Off the base of the wall, Valbuena is rounding first. And he starts to come around second, but he will stop there. A double for Luis Valbuena. The Twins did score earlier in the inning, so it is Rodriguez trying to get the save. Eddie Rosario lines it up the middle past a diving Jose Iglesias, and then Anthony Ghost bobbles it out there in center field, allowing Luis Valbuena to come around and score. If he would have fielded that cleanly, Valbuena probably would have stopped at third. 2-1 Twins now in the 9th. Rodriguez has blown the save, and now just to do some damage control to give his guys a chance in the bottom of the 9th inning. But a drive deep to left field by Mike Zunino, and Mikey Z hits this one over the wall for a 2-run home run, the 5th of the season for Mikey Z, and the Twins do go on to win 4-1. The losing pitcher is Francisco Rodriguez, who blew the save. He gave up all 3 runs. Justin Miller gets the win for the Twins. Sean Marshall ends up getting the save for Minnesota, giving Jake McGee a day off. Emilio Bonifacio 2 for 4. Mike Zunino 1 for 4 with a home run and 2 RBIs. Valbuena 2 for 4 with a double. And Eddie Rosario 1 for 4 with a double. Quick look in at our Double-A affiliate, the Chattanooga Lookout. Stuart Turner went 2 for 5 with a home run and 3 RBIs in a 7-4 victory over Biloxi. He is batting .216 on the season with 3 home runs and 11 batted in. Robert Jones was 2 for 4 with a home run and 2 RBIs. He's batting .275 with 3 home runs and 26 RBIs, the Double-A shortstop. Quick look at where some of our players are standing in the American League statistical categories. Byron Buxton, 19th there in batting average. He is tied for 4th in triples with 3. And Luis Valbuena tied for 8th with 10 home runs in the American League. Eddie Rosario is tied for 14th at 9 home runs with Mookie Betts, Josh Donaldson, Rougned Odor, and some others. In RBIs, Joe Mauer is tied at number 21 with 25 runs batted in. And Brian Dozier, with 24 runs scored, is tied in 22nd with Kevin Kiermaier, Mark Trumbo, and Adam Eaton. Byron Buxton, with 9 stolen bases, leads the team and has him tied in 10th with Jacoby Ellsbury and Adam Eaton in the American League. And Ervin Santana, with 6 wins, is 2nd in the American League behind Sonny Gray and Jason Vargas, tied with Aaron Sanchez. Jake McGee is tied for 3rd in saves with 15. They're all chasing Sam Dyson of the Rangers, who has 18. And Irvin Santana with a 2.18 ERA is 6th in the American League. Daniel Norris, who we will see later in this episode go for the Tigers, is the leader in ERA. Alex Meyer with 70 strikeouts is 3rd in the American League. Kyle Gibson with 65 is 4th. And Irvin Santana is leading the league in WHIP with a 0.85 walks and hits per innings pitched. We go on to game number 50 from Comerica Park, the Tigers and the Twins. The second game of a 4-game series, Tyler Duffy on the hill here for the Twins, facing J.D. Martinez. J.D. Martinez steps into the box on a 1-0 count with Miguel Cabrera second in the 7th inning and nobody out. Martinez drives it deep to center field. Emilio Bonifacio is looking up at the wall and it's gone. A very long home run for J.D. Martinez. You don't see tons of home runs hit over dead center at Comerica Park. But J.D. Martinez does it here. A 2-run blast, his 11th of the season, goes 434 feet into the bushes out in center field. And that is all the Tigers would need in this one as they beat the Twins 2-0 to improve to 28-20. Anibal Sanchez gets the win for the Tigers. Tyler Duffy takes the loss for the Twins. Rodriguez does earn the save in this one, making up for the blown save in yesterday's game. J.D. Martinez 1 for 3 with a home run and 2 RBIs. Miguel Cabrera 1 for 3 with a double. Anthony Goes hit a double as well. Several Twins players were 2 for 4. And a quick look in at AAA Rochester. They lost to the Durham Bulls in this one, 1-0. A pitcher's duel. The only player really of note in this one was Jose Barrios. 6 1/3 innings of one-hit ball, no runs scored, 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. He's 4-3 in 65 innings, a 3.29 ERA and 43 strikeouts, a 1.22 WHIP. The only thing really concerning us still with Jose Barrios is the walk numbers. Chattanooga beat Biloxi 5-4 in Double-A. Luke Bard went 2 innings, gave up no hits, no runs, and 4 strikeouts in relief. He's 3-1 with a 32.2 innings pitched, 40 Ks, 1.38 ERA. Marco Cairo, the right fielder, went 3 for 5 with a home run, 3 RBIs for the Lookouts. .281 batting average with a home run and 8 RBIs on the year and 62 at-bats for the right fielder Marco Cairo. And we get set here to head into game number 51. It's the third of this 4-game series from Comerica Park between the Twins and the Tigers. Daniel Norris, the aforementioned leader in the American League in ERA at 1.81, takes the hills. There you see Sonny Gray behind him at 1.88 and Anibal Sanchez at 1.94. Pretty good for the Detroit Tigers to have 2 starting pitchers below a 2.0 ERA. Phil Hughes goes for us. Jose Iglesias steps into the box facing Phil Hughes with Adam Lind on second. Iglesias grounds it up the middle. Here comes Byron Buxton charging. Here's the throw to the plate. Adam Lind coming in, and he is gunned down at the plate by Byron Buxton. So the Tigers do score 1 run in the inning on the Adam Lind double that drove in a run earlier before Lind was thrown out at the plate. And it's 1-0 Tigers. We head to the 6th now with runners on the corners against Daniel Norris. The runner charging in from third. We got the squeeze play on. Eduardo Nunez bunts it down the first baseline. And the squeeze works to success for the Minnesota Twins as Jorge Polanco comes in to score. When you're facing the leader in ERA in the American League, you have to take some chances sometimes. And we are all tied up at 1 as we head to the 7th. Luis Valbuena 0 for 2 on the day with 2 groundouts. 0-1 delivery from Daniel Norris in the 7th. Valbuena turns one around to right field. That one's going back at the track, at the wall, and that one is gone. Home run for Luis Valbuena, the Twins' third baseman. It's a solo shot, his 11th of the year. And that puts the Twins out in front, 2-1 in the middle of 7. We stretch here in the Motor City. Nick Castellanos now steps in for the Tigers in the bottom of 7. Still facing Phil Hughes. Castellanos with a line drive to right field, and that one's going to sneak over. Right over the 330 mark of the right field fence. Just barely sneaks the line drive over the yellow line. And that is going to tie this game up at 2 apiece. Nick Castellanos again in extra innings in the 10th off of Sean Marshall. Castellanos again to the opposite field. Going back is Bonifacio. He leaps at the wall and can't make the catch. And Nicholas Castellanos has walked this one off for the Detroit Tigers in 10 innings. 2 home runs on the day for Castellanos. And the Tigers get the win to go up 2-1 in this 4-game series. They're at 29-20. We fall to 23-28. Hardy is the winner. Sean Marshall the loser. Nick Castellanos 2 for 4, 2 home runs, 2 batted in. Jorge Polanco for us went 3 for 4 with a run scored. Luis Valbuena 1 for 4 with a home run and an RBI. And quick look in AAA. The Rochester Red Wings, a 5-3 victory over the Durham Bulls. Darren Mastriani 2 for 4 with a pair of RBIs on the game. Taylor Rogers went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 of them earned, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. He's got a 4.75 ERA and a 1.45 whip on the season. Chattanooga AA lost to Biloxi 9-5. Nico Goodrum went 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. He's batting .276 with a home run and 19 driven in. Steven Gonsalves gave up 7 runs, but only 1 of them were earned, so don't be deceived. He has a 3.17 ERA and 54 strikeouts in 54 innings and a 4-3 record, so he is not doing too bad down there at AA. Final game of this 4-game series. It's game number 52. Shane Green on the hill making his 10th start for the Tigers. He is 3-2 on the year. Kyle Gibson will start for us, making his 11th start. He is 5-2 with a 2.59 ERA. That's second best on the team among the starting pitchers. Luis Valbuena with runners on the corners in the 4th inning. Flies one out to left field. Eduardo Nunez at third tagging. Here comes the throw from left. And Nunez is going to slide in and score. The throw from Will Venable was late, and the Twins take the 1-0 lead. Here's the ground ball up the middle. Tigers trying to tie it up. Here's the throw from center field, and Byron Buxton, and this one is up the first baseline. He threw a guy out in the last game, but this one he is unable to. At the end of 4, we're all tied up at 1. Going to the 5th inning, Mike Zunino, guy who we picked up in the Rule 5 draft in the offseason, starting to prove to be a little bit of a still for us. His potential is a B, which is very good, and he is moving up overall to a 77, and he is starting to hit the ball for a lot of power as he drives this one deep into left center field. That one is at the wall, and it bounces off the top of the wall about 6 inches from being a 2-run home run. Kenny Vargas is on to third, and Vargas had to hold up a little bit at first until he could tell that that was going to be over the center fielder's head. So that holds Zunino to first, and then a fielder's choice from Emilio Bonifacio drives Vargas in to give the Twins a 2-1 lead. Ian Kinsler now facing Trevor May on a 3-1 count with 2 outs. Ian Kinsler with a drive deep to left field, and that one is going to be over the bullpen and into the bleachers. A solo home run for Ian Kinsler. That's number 7 for him. And it ties the game at 2 apiece after 5 here at Comerica. Final game of this 4-game set. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. Luis Valbuena steps into the box. 0-2 count with 2 outs in the 6th inning. Here's the delivery from Green. Drive deep to right field. That one's heading towards the track. It's still got height, and that one is going to get out over the right field wall. A solo home run for Valbuena, his 12th of the year. And that puts the Twins back out on top with a 3-2 lead. In the 6th inning now, with a runner on second, ground ball up the middle, Byron Buxton charging. He's already thrown 1 guy out at the plate in this series, and the throw to the plate is in plenty of time to get the out, and that will conserve the Twins' 3-2 lead. At the end of 6, we go to the 7th. Byron Buxton at the plate with a runner on second. Buxton lines it up the middle. Jorge Polanco rounds third. He's heading to the plate, and he's going to come in time to score, and Byron Buxton with an RBI single puts the Twins up 4-2. We go to the 9th inning. Jake McGee, the closer, in trying to earn his 16th save of the year. He's got a 1.33 ERA. Facing Adam Lind, and Lind grounds it to the right side. Joe Mauer flips it on to McGee, covering first, and he touches the bag for the out. The Tigers go with Victor Martinez pinch hitting now with a runner on first. He grounds it to short, and Polanco on to Dozier. Jump throw on to first to Joe Mauer, and the Twins get the win here to split the series at 2 games apiece and improve to 24-28. The Tigers fall to 29-21. The Tigers lead the season series still 4-3. Shane Green takes the loss for Detroit. Trevor May gets the win. Trevor May came in early in the game because the starter, Kyle Gibson, went out for hand x-rays, and we'll check on him a little later in this episode. Luis Valbuena went 1 for 3 for us. Durham beat Rochester again 1-0. Another low-scoring game. Max Kepler was 2 for 3. He is batting .328 with 2 home runs and 9 RBIs this year at the AAA level. Lewis Thorpe, the starting pitcher, went 6 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 11 strikeouts. He's 3-4 with 69 Ks, a 3.39 ERA on the year. Down at AA Chattanooga, they beat Biloxi 5-2. Zach Granite went 3 for 5 with an RBI. He's batting .250 with a pair of home runs and 13 driven in. Randy Rosario, 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts. He's got a 4.45 ERA, 36 Ks in 32 1/3 innings, and he's 2-3 on the season. So we got a couple of key players on the shelf for us. Kyle Gibson is out 2 to 3 months with a fractured hand, and Miguel Sano is out for the season with a dislocated ankle. So we need to call up somebody to take the place of Kyle Gibson, and I want to know which one of these 3 guys you would call up. Jose Barrios is our top overall prospect. He has been playing well lately, but we are worried about bringing him up too soon. Tyler Chatwood is an established MLB vet. He's pitching well at AAA, but he got worked early in the year at the major league level. And Taylor Rogers is pitching all right at AAA. He's a 27-year-old minor league veteran, and if we called him up, it would be his Major League Baseball debut. All of them have very similar numbers and similar overall ratings down at AAA. Quick look at the standings in baseball. The Red Sox at 30-20 lead the American League East. The Royals 3 games over the Tigers in the Central, 3 over the Indians as well, who are hot at 9-1 in their last 10. We come in 4th place. The Rangers leading the American League West, a game over the Angels, 2 over the A's, 3.5 over the Astros, and 5 over the Mariners. Pretty tight division there. We go to the National League East. The Nats with a 2-game lead over the Marlins, who are a bit of a surprise. The Phillies are 7.5 back. The Braves and the Mets round out the division. The Cubs at 30-21, staying a little closer to the pack this year. 3-game lead over the Pirates, 5.5 over the Cardinals, the Reds and Brewers, 4th and 5th. The Dodgers lead the West by 3.5 over the Giants. The Rockies are 10 back. The D-backs 11.5 back, and the Padres falling way behind at 18.5 behind the Los Angeles Dodgers. Next up for Minnesota Twins franchise is a Memorial Day series with the Washington Nationals from the nation's capital, so I hope you'll check in for that one as we continue the 2017 season here on Major League Baseball's Minnesota Twins franchise here in our virtual sports world of Mama's Basement Gaming.